Hey guys, you're watching Boogie Travels, and today we have traveled to Branson, Missouri for the Celebrity Car Museum and Attraction, also known as the Velvet Collection. And wait till you see, if you know me, you know I'm not a car guy, but you're going to see why I'm excited in just a second. God, it's actual Kit. Oh my God, oh my God, he's actually going to let me, can I get into Kit? Oh, will I fit in the Kit?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God, guys, look at this dashboard. And this is the one that was used in the actual television show? This one was not screen use? Okay.
This was a promotional one used for promotionals.
Oh my God, look at this. You want to talk about a dream car? A lot of people always wanted to own the DeLorean. No, not me. I always wanted to own Kit. I never understood what my allure for this show was. But now that I'm looking at this car, I think I'm beginning to get it. Holy crap. All right, now here's a car from a comedy series. I think hopefully you will recognize it by this license plate. If you don't know this show, I will go ahead and pronounce this properly for you. That is A New Start. That's what that says. I promise. So this vehicle was used in a movie called Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. That's why the giant hand is behind it. But I want to show you something really interesting about this. I've just learned that this is what they would call a drop car. So if you take a look inside, you're going to realize there's no motor, there's no seating. This is pretty much just a car shell. And apparently they do this a lot with movie cars. If there's no need to put a motor in it, why would they spend the extra expense when you could just use a shell like this? So for the 3% of women that watch my channel who are a huge fan of Twilight New Moon, take a look at this shot right here. This poster that you probably had hanging on your wall when you were growing up. Well, this is that very same vehicle. Your favorite werewolf would have been posing right here, shirtless, helping you through your teenage years. So if you've seen the movie Twister, you may recognize this. I love the special effects that they have going on right now. I know that when some of my friends have come through here, this is kind of brand new, but you remember the bad guys in Twister? This is the exact same van and dot that they had set up. I don't know if you recognize this vehicle from a long-lived television show on HBO, long before Game of Thrones was even a thought. This is the car belonging to Sookie Stackhouse from the show True Blood. By the way, I'm glad they only made 4 seasons of that show, because if they had made an additional 2, it would have ruined the show for me. I'm glad they stopped with season 4, right? Sookie Stackhouse. Sookie. So for the Lindsay Lohan fans in the comment section, here you go. Here is Herbie, fully loaded. And if you guys will notice, this is a very beat up version. So this was actually used during the demolition derby scenes, and it's even wired, I've been told, to be able to pop up in the air, which I guess they needed to do for the film. So if taking a look at this scene makes you want to sing Bohemian Rhapsody, I will warn you that this vehicle might not be a screen-used vehicle. It might actually just be one of the reproductions they used at one of the theme parks. But still, I can see Wayne and Garth sitting in the front seat of that right now. Is this the real life, or is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide. So, whereas this is not a traditional Flintstones vehicle, this was a vehicle used in the actual Flintstones movie. I love this prehistoric architecture. And for the record, this is actually a working vehicle. This actually can get up and go. It's got a golf cart motor in it. So don't worry, you don't got to power with your legs if you need to move this thing. What? Okay, all right, I'm panicking a little bit because I did not expect to see very much video game memorabilia here. Here's an actual warthog. Now, I will warn you, this is certainly not to scale, but they do have an actual drop pod, which I can ride?
Yeah, it's a ride, it's a working ride.
What? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Ah.
All right, Trooper.
Okay.
This is not a drill.
It's not a drill.
Are you sitting in your pilot seat?
Yes, I'm
If
sitting.
you at any time raise up out of your seat, your pod will still run, and the door will open.
Okay.
While you are dropping through the atmosphere.
Okay.
Do you understand? Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
You are ready to drop, Trooper.
Yes, sir. Oh my God! No! Oh no! Oh! I survived. I
You in there?
survived. Yeah,
Respond.
I'm
That's
here.
an order.
I'm here. I swear I'm alive. I survived. Woo! So for those of you who are fans of Jurassic Park, specifically the newer movies, here we have an actual screen-used vehicle. This is from Fallen Kingdom. And you'll see the movie scene playing right here. This is the exact scene where Blue jumps up on top of this very vehicle. Blue would have been sitting right about there. Wow. This is as close to Chris Pratt as I'm ever getting. And over here, tucked away in the corner, a non-screen used vehicle, but I would be very careful if I were you, because there is definitely someone coming through that electric fence. Oh no. And a raptor. Squaw! I still don't understand how they turn doorknobs with those hands though. Weird. They were telling me before this place began to specialize in vehicles, they mostly specialized in screen-worn outfits. So here we have Bruce Willis's Live Free or Die Hard outfit. Bruce Willis also his Bandits outfit. It's probably my favorite though, Tom Hanks's outfit from Road to Perdition. Really good movie. I feel like not a lot of people have seen that one, but I really enjoyed it. All right, so I'm not a huge Fast and the Furious fan. In fact, I have never seen any of the movies, so you're going to be more blown away by this than I am. But this vehicle and the one sitting next to it are from the 8th movie, The Fate and the Furious. These are both of the vehicles that are used in the opening race. I've been told it's very rare to be able to own every vehicle from a race, but here they both are. I particularly love this one. It's got a Rob Zombie vibe to it. Man, maybe I'm missing something with these movies. Maybe I really need to check out these films. Another Fast and the Furious car. This is from the 4th film, where they're still in gas in the Dominican Republic. Now, is this a modded Monte Carlo? What kind of car is this?
A Buick Grand National.
That was a Buick Grand National. Okay. Dude, look at the inside of this car, built for safety. Wow. Yeah, I guess you would definitely want this car to be safe if you're going to be driving the kind of stunts they do in these movies. Coming back to this Ford, I have to say, I'm not much of a car guy, but if I was, there's definitely vintage cars like this that I would die for. They just don't make cars like this, I feel like, anymore. Just old school, not just the shape, but made out of metal. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you wrecking this car, you're gone for, but what a way to go. More Fast and the Furious vehicles, and even though I've never seen a single movie, I immediately recognize this car from the trailers from Fast and the Furious number 7. Wow. Again, if I were to buy a classic car, this is exactly what I would want to get. When you're in the South, you're going to see a lot of General Lees. In fact, well, I'll probably show you a couple that are hidden around Branson, but this particular General Lee was used in Johnny Knoxville's reboot of the Dukes of Hazzard. And this is apparently a vehicle that was not driven from the driver's seat, where the actors would sit, but actually there was a bucket seat mounted on top of this vehicle that allowed them to drive the vehicle without bothering the stars, so the stars could focus on acting. Had a stuntman doing all the actual driving on top. I never knew that. Makes a lot of sense though. I don't think I would let Johnny Knoxville drive stunts in my movie, so it makes sense. God, I love this movie. Standing next to the General Lee, well, that is, of course, the Terminator. This is the hearse from Terminator 3. If you take a look, you can even see the casket that he steals, filled with guns in the back. And here on the hood, you'll see the damage that the female Terminator did to the roof. So taking a look at this vehicle, and hopefully you'll immediately recognize it. This is from the Robocop reboot. I love the original Robocop. I've never seen the reboot, please forgive me, but I do love this vehicle. Now, rumor has it, and this is only rumor, that this vehicle might have also been used in a Batman film, but that's non-confirmed right now, but it definitely looks like it could have easily been in Batman vs. Superman. Just got to find it somewhere on film. Now, this vehicle you may recognize from what is quite literally one of the best scenes in one of the best television shows ever. This is a vehicle from Breaking Bad, and minor spoilers here, this is Mike's car. If you recognize this car, you'll probably know what happened right there in the driver's seat. R.I.P. Mike. And take a look. Right there in the front seat, I still see shards of glass, just like the day it was filmed. Wow. To think that Mike sat on the inside of this vehicle and Walter White stood right where I am. Now, Vin Diesel, of course, known for Fast and the Furious, but you might have also recognized him from a vehicle known as Triple X. This is the bizarre car from one of the very first over-the-top films Vin Diesel was ever in. One of my favorites as well, actually. May not be a Fast and the Furious fan, but I'll watch Triple X every chance I get. Oh my God, taking a look at the inside of the Triple X car. And I have to say, it's about as kitted out as Kit's car. This is breathtaking. I don't even know if I should show the arsenal here in the back seat for YouTube purposes, but there it is. Man, you knew he was ready to party with a vehicle like this. 1996 was the year. This is the Batmobile. From arguably still to this day my favorite Batman series. I'm sorry for those of you who like the Dark Knight franchise, but Batman was always meant to be kind of goofy and kind of campy in my eyes. Nobody did it like Adam West. And I can get inside this?
Go ahead, yeah.
Ah! Oh my God. If you told 14-year-old me that I would ever set an Adam West Batmobile, look at this. Oh my God, the perfect replica. This is fantastic. Robin, let's go. Now, we just visited New York City, so you probably recognize this cab from one of my driving portions. But who did I say was the most New York superhero in the world to me? That's Spiderman right on top. And the vehicle he's on top of is the police emergency vehicle that was used in Spider-Man 2 when he is fighting the lizard. You can see the damage right there on the top. Love this display, man. We found the good portion of the museum, Batman and Spidey. All right, taking a look at this cab. You guys are gonna kill me because I said it was New York styled. And I've never seen a cab like this in New York. This is from the movie Percy Jackson, which I'm completely unfamiliar with.
It's the Chariot of Damnation.
But you want to see, oh, the Chariot of Damnation. You want to talk about a tricked out car. Though honestly, looking at these seats, I'm going to be honest with you. I could see this as a cab you would get into in New York now that I see it. It's, ugh. Yeah, pretty much every cab in New York looks like this. I stand by my case. Now, I've gone on record by saying I'm not a huge fan of what Michael Bay has done to the Transformers, but it is cool to take a moment to take a look at the vehicles that were used in it. I have yet to see the Bumblebee movie, and I know my audience has told me many, many times I need to see it because it is the good Transformers movie. But here's Bumblebee when he first lands. God, they really put a lot of personality into this vehicle. I mean, I can see this as a living car. They did a really good job with that. I'm kind of in love with it. Here we have a vehicle from the campy and kind of fun Death Race 2000. But that movie did get remade. And here is the remake vehicle, fully tricked out. This is Jason Statham's vehicle from that film. And what an incredible job they did on that. Wow. Another movie I think I need to see. So if you're a Robocop fan, and I think we've established that I am, you're gonna recognize this giant bot in the back. Wow, I love that. Even more Robocop, including this Robocop replica. More cars from the movie, this one being from Robocop 3. It's surprising taking a look at these because, for the most part, they are just modern Fords with the logos painted over, but that's exactly how they appear in the movies. All right, I do feel bad about talking poorly about The Dark Knight, because this is one of the police cars from The Dark Knight Rises. Looks like The Dark Knight is perched on top of it as well. Man, I get the chills looking at this movie. Okay, I'm sorry, Adam West, I might have changed my mind. Maybe he was the better Batman. More superhero memorabilia. I'm curious if you'll immediately recognize this vehicle, but this was used in the movie Logan, and I remember a very specific scene in Logan where the bad guys pull up in these vehicles. Yeah, kind of chilling. So now here's a piece of retail history, and I'm really glad to capture this on camera, because this piece is brand new. But this is a vehicle used in commercials and promotions for Toys R Us. Jeffrey's sitting in the back. I've just been told that this vehicle, like a lot of the vehicles you've seen in movies and films, was made by the George Barris for the folks over at Toys R Us. Sad to see that store go. Dun, 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 dun. I am dating myself with this one. But there was a show that I watched growing up every week that had some great car stunts, some guns, but somehow no one ever gets shot. And that was the show A-Team. B.A. Baracus, probably everybody else's favorite character, would have driven this van, but I have to say my favorite character absolutely was Murdoch, and I bet you know why. This is a replica, so this is not screen used or anything like that. But it still brings back the childhood memories, man. I can see Hannibal in the front seat right now. So if you are familiar with Fast and the Furious, I bet you're going to immediately recognize this vehicle. All shot up, plenty of battle damage. But this is from the first film. Not a lot of these cars left, I've been told. This is the only version of this car left in North America. And check the dashboard. It's actually been signed by Jesse himself. Wow. Yeah, I need to go watch this film. I love this car. Coming back to the Terminator 3 hearse. And you see the bullet holes in the back. Man. Never realized this. So if you remember in the film, he does use what is certainly a CG coffin to protect himself and also to carry the guns. But the coffin here in the back almost looks bullet worn as well. I love that. Yeah, I love the way this thing looks. If I was going to ride in this vehicle, I'd rather do it for the Terminator than its intended use, for sure. Now here we have a mystery machine, but you might notice here in the front, it's actually been signed by Jay and Silent Bob. This is not from the cartoon. This is an actual screen-used mystery machine. from Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. Man, to think that Kevin and Jay were right there. I mean, not just right there, but right here as well. They signed this place several different places. Wow. Another absolute screen classic. Here we have, from Dumb and Dumber, this dumb vehicle. Man, I mean, the comedic value on this is pretty impressive because I'm laughing just looking at the stupid thing. Okay, I have to do this. I absolutely have to do this. Hey, you want to hear the most annoying sound of the world? Now, as I said, I'm a bit of a movie buff, but I haven't seen a lot of more recent movies, but this one, I've absolutely seen and love. If you haven't seen Baby Driver, go watch it right now. Turn off this video, go watch that instead, because it's way better than what I'm doing. If you've seen Tokyo Drift, then you're definitely going to see this vehicle as well. It's the 1968 Ford Mustang from Fast and the Furious 3. Sitting here next to this time machine, and of course, a much more famous time machine next to it. I had to film this little tucked away face hugger. Oh God. Oh God, I thought I was done with the Halloween stuff. If you're a Mad Max fan, and no, not the remake, but the original Mel Brooks films, you may recognize this one from Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. And this, feast your eyes on this because you're not going to see very many vehicles from a movie this old still in existence. Men in Black, I still think one of the best films that Will Smith ever made, and you may recognize this, the Zappum extermination vehicle. Taking a look at the back, I think I can even see the damage where he would have stored the spaceship in the back of this vehicle. What? The spaceship is in the back? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the spaceship is actually there in the back. Kind of. Crazy. Normally this place, just like any good car museum, does have a DeLorean. The DeLorean is currently being featured elsewhere, but they still have plenty of Back to the Future memorabilia. Including, was this screen worn as well?
No.
Okay, I was about to say.
The bike is screen used from Back to the Future Part 2.
Wow. They'll never make movies like that again. And if you're listening, Hollywood, do not try to make movies like this again. If you remake it, we riot. More Men in Black. This vehicle was used in number 1 and 2. Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith sitting right there in the front. And who's this guy up top? Ooh, better be careful. And then wrapping up the Fast and the Furious collection, both of these vehicles used in number 8. Yep, I have a movie marathon as soon as I get home. And then as we are on our way out, Bumblebee is bidding us farewell. If you're a car guy and you're not that interested in movie-based cars, there are some just really nice, rare cars here. Here's this Porsche 911. Here's this yellow Mustang. Is that a Mustang? What?
It's a Lamborghini.
That's a Lamborghini. Oh my God, I know nothing about these fancy cars. But here's what I will say. Who fits in these, man? I definitely will never drive a car like that in my life. I didn't think my shoes will fit in that thing. Look outside, and I will tell you a little bit of personal history when it comes to this museum. I've been to Branson a bunch of times, and every time I would ever come here, I would drive by to see Ecto 1. Absolutely one of my favorite movie vehicles ever made. Another hearse. I've noticed they've repurposed a lot of hearses for a lot of good films. Man, the detailing on this is insane. And then wrapping it up outside, if you just drive by here, you'll get to see this vehicle as well. You may recognize it from the show Sons of Anarchy. Pretty much every character that was in that show drove this car at some point. Wow. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I do want to say thanks again, man. This guy set me up, basically walked me through the entire museum, reached out to me and said, if you're coming to Branson, I absolutely want to see you, man. I want to say thank you for
Hey, no
the great
problem,
tour.
man.
If you guys are in the Branson area, do me a favor, check out this museum. I think you'll love it, especially if you're a Fast and the Furious fan. If you want, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel while you're down there. Hit that notification bell so you can see videos like this as soon as they go live, because it's the best way to make sure that this channel is successful. If you enjoyed today's video, I want to say thank you for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon. High five. You want to close it out for me? Perfect.